to the introduction to Scratch. Let's start by asking the question of what is Scratch? Scratch is a visually based programming language, which means that instead of writing very precise computer code where it matters whether you've made a capital letter, a small letter, a comma, or a semicolon, you simply put together various blocks of code. So these are just visual, and I'm going to drop a random couple of these onto the screen and, show you how it works. So when I click on a block, the cat, which is circled in here, it's called sprite 1, is going to do pretty much what it says on the block. So it's going to move 10 steps, and I click on that, and it moves 10 steps. This one's going to turn 15 degrees, and I click on it, and it turns 15 degrees. If I keep clicking on it, it'll be 360, and we can go all the way around. If I click on the hello block, it's going to say hello for 2 seconds. And if I click on the play meow sound, it's going to make a meow sign. This one says hide, this one says show. And if I was to put all of these together, and maybe I should hide first, and then show, we would have all of them executed one at a time. First, the cat would move 10 steps, then it would turn 15 degrees, then it would say hello for 2 seconds, then it would hide, and while it's hidden, it would say meow, and then it would reappear, and you click that. That was kind of strange. Pretty cool. So as you can see, creating programs in Scratch is really, really easy. You drag and drop various blocks. You click on those blocks to find out what it is that they do, and then you put them in a sequence. Now, the way you get to the next level of complication is rather than having just a cat, you can create more objects that have their own code. And to do that, you simply click on this cool looking spaceman thing, and we create a new sprite. So we could have a bat. Double click on the bat, and now we have a cat and a bat. Now the code we've created is for the cat. So when we click on the cat, there is the code. When we click on the bat, there is no code. We haven't created any code for the bat. And I could now create some code for the bat, and I could just say, ooh, bat, move 10 steps and turn 15 degrees, and that's what he's doing every time I click on this. So now we've seen an example of what a sprite is and how you create commands that govern the movement of that one sprite. That's what the cat did, remember? Meow. And that is what the bat does. Now, let's have a look at these, because each of these color-coded things that has a name basically gives you a different category of commands. Motion is going to get you to move the sprites around in various different ways. So they can turn, they can point in a specific direction. If I say point in direction 90, the cat points right. And if I can say minus 90, it'll point in the other direction. And so on and so on. And I want to make it go back. So click. Thank you. This teleports or moves your sprite to a specific location on the screen. And these locations are given by these two numbers here. So watch what would happen when I put my mouse on the cat. You're going to roughly find out the cat is at minus 57 and 25. And if I wanted to move the cat there, I would say, minus 176 and minus 141. So if I go minus 176 minus 141, the cat was going to move back there, and you click on it, and the cat goes there. So that's pretty cool. So those are what the blue motion blocks do. Then the purple category are for looks. So as you've seen, we've used show and hide. We've said hello. So you can have two kinds of speech bubbles. You can use the speech bubbles or the thinking bubbles. I think there's a think you click on this, you can see. We've also talked about how you have different sprites. Now these sprites have costumes, and I'm pretty sure that each sprite has, two versions of itself. So as you can see, what happens if I switch the costumes of this cat, it kind of appears like it's running. So if I have costume 2 and costume 1, we can go, yes. Now, sound, that's really self-explanatory. Now you can kind of use it to make music. There are thousands of different sounds that you can use. There are, you can select piano notes. You can have all kinds of different drums for different number of beats. You can use tempo, beats per minute. And I don't know. It's simply the best way to use these is to play around with them. You can change the volume as well. Then there are such things as events. Now, events simply mean that instead of you having to click on this manually with your mouse, you can make sure that that takes place, for instance, when the green flag is clicked. So rather than me having to click in here, I can click on the green flag and the cat is going to execute those commands. Yeah, I could have also made it so that that happens when I press the space key, or I can make it happen when the sprite is clicked. So if I go and put this on when the sprite is clicked, I need to just click on the cat, and the cat is going to do its thing. Meow. So what about control? Now this is really interesting. For instance, there is a wait function. So when if I was going to click on this, it would change the costumes after 1 second. So change to costume 2, wait a second, and go back to costume 1. And if I use this repeat block, which kind of eats other blocks, if you can see like it snaps around them, it will do that 10 times. And it's kind of uneven. It doesn't look like running because it doesn't pause after costume 1. And if I was to put that in and say I could drag that under when the sprite is clicked, now when we click on the cat will look like it's running. Okay, so we have covered motion, looks, sound, events, and control. There are some more advanced options that we're going to cover in the near future, but for now, get ready to take on 10 challenges that will require only the use of these 5 and your patience and creativity.